just to start out, we really did want the congressman here. In fact, we made it possible in fact, we're live streaming tonight. So people can, everyone at home can see the same thing. So there's no hiding. It's not going to be like this afternoon when the congressman had his town hall meeting, which lasted, I think, 20 minutes. And then he ran, I don't know if he ran anybody over, but he ran out the door. But we really wanted him to be right here because the issues need to be discussed. And the voters deserve to hear where both of us stand. When I first started thinking about this and praying about this summer, you know, I went to a few people and I said, what do you think about me running against, you know, for the 15th congressional district? And the politicians said, how dare you do that? And then some said, you know, you don't have a clear pathway to victory. And, you know, some people said, it's just impossible. You can never do that. Well, maybe that was the wrong thing for them to say. And, but, you know, after 20 years, it's time that the people have a choice. I mean, for 20 years, you, the people, have not been able to choose the nominee. And this is a problem. And what happens is, people that stay there too long lose touch. And I didn't say that. Your congressman said that. And so, you know, I've always believed that term limits was one of the solutions to a very dysfunctional state and federal government. One of them, and one of the best. Because it speaks to the intent of why you're there. Did you go there to serve, or did you go there to take advantage of the system and make a career out of it? See, career politicians don't make decisions they don't tend to make decisions that are the best interests of the people. They tend to make decisions that are that protect their power, their position, and their pension. And that doesn't end up good for us. The net result of that is not service to us. It's not opportunity for our families. It's opportunity for them. And so I'm going to term limit myself in the state Senate. I've been there 7 years. I'm up in 2018. I will not run again. No matter what happens, I will not run again. There's no law for term limits in this state or federally, but I'll be an example of it. And in Congress, I won't stay any more than 10 years, 5 terms. I will also sponsor a bill for term limits in Congress. Now, you know how popular that's going to be. You know, all politicians say they're for term limits because 75% of the people like term limits. But when it comes right down to it, most of them are not going to do anything to take away this really nice job they've got. So, what's the difference between myself and a congressman? Well, 20 years ago, there wasn't much difference. In fact, I was one of those guys that got him elected. People in my church have come up to me and said, Kyle, wasn't that the guy you told me to put a sign up for? Yes, it was. But that was 20 years ago. And there's a difference now. Our congressman, just so you put this in perspective, numbers matter. Ted Cruz, according to Conservative Review, is a 96. Our congressman is a 39. And why is that? It's because of the way he's voted. He just voted for the omnibus bill, which put trillions of dollars of debt onto our families, which funded Planned Parenthood, which funded illegal immigration, sanctuary cities, increased the IRS's budget by $290 million. I mean, this is the same people that target conservatives. And we're going to give them more money. Voted 9 times to increase the debt ceiling. The Omnibus, by the way, as well, gave automatic work visas to foreign graduating students, as though our young people didn't have enough, difficulty finding a job coming out of college. So, on the issues, immigration, we have to follow the law. If we don't follow the law, we don't have a country. And we do need a wall. And at some point, we have to protect the American worker. At some point, we have to start standing up for the American worker. You say, well, these are the jobs that the American citizens won't, take. Well, if you have this glut of labor and the demand for, labor's not there, the price is going to come down. If you have a demand for labor, it's going to come up. So there's a very clear decision to make today, and that is, do we want a career politician who broke his promise on term limits 20 years ago? He broke the very first promise he made. I'm keeping that promise. Do we want a career politician who's been there 20 years, or do we want a business person like myself who's got 25 years of experience? I'll jump back to the Omnibus Bill. The Omnibus Bill was one of the worst negotiated bills ever. 94 other conservatives didn't vote for that bill, but our congressman voted for it. You say, would you have shut down the government over Planned Parenthood? Absolutely, I would have. In fact, see, I've had to make a living negotiating with my own money my whole life. If I don't do well, I don't bring home a paycheck. These guys in Congress are using our money. And what happened on the Omnibus Bill is Nancy Pelosi, what'd she say? They gave away the store. If somebody in my company went in negotiations and came out of there and said, and I heard the other side say they gave away the store, I'd fire them. Because they weren't negotiating in my best interest. Somebody needs fired, folks. And it happens to be our congressman. So, let's get it. We'll get into some of the questions. I'm just telling you, unfortunately, John Shimkus has become part of the problem in Washington. It didn't happen overnight. It happened over time. And I've got the energy, the ideas, and the track record as a reformer in this state to make a difference. And I know that I can be a much better negotiator and a lot tougher fighter than he's been for us. So.